Yes, hello. Can you hear me? Yes. Um, okay. So we have four people. Yeah, so let's begin. Um, Let me share. Let me quickly. I don't. How many of us had the chance to finish off the lab sheet yesterday? Um, how many people tried? Yeah, let me know if you were able to finish it off yourself yesterday. Oh, was there any technical issue? Oh, or yeah, you didn't have time to finish it off. Ah, okay, okay, yeah, 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 that's good. Okay, yeah, I'll just try and finish it off once we, or maybe let me do it now. Let me share the others. I'll just share. Um, yeah, let me know if you can see my screen. Yeah, let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, so I mean, there's only a tiny bit left, anyways. So the point I was trying to make yesterday is we've seen how when you install a package, files get downloaded to your machine, and then those files are scattered, across the Linux file system. So you'll see some in slash etc, you'll see some in slash, I don't know, slash opt slash usr. Um, and I think yesterday I showed us the importance of like I think I tried modifying the file yesterday, but it didn't allow me, and I had to assume root permissions because only the root user can have access to that file. So if you see the screen, you can easily see like this is the file that contains the website HTML code. And you can see the file is owned by root. So the root user has read and write, and every other user has only read. So that was the reason why I couldn't modify the file. And there's a reason for this because imagine when you're trying to deploy your website, you don't want any user to be able to go and modify the website files. So that's why um, only the root user can. But this is a security risk because anybody who because ideally I think this file should just only be readable and writable by the user who is looking after this Nginx. So let me go ahead and run this command. I'll show you what it does. But let me just run it. Wait, let me share my screen again. Just gonna share my whole screen now. So I think we got here yesterday. So I'm just gonna scroll past. Um, where is it? Just one moment. Yes. So let's talk about users and group. So when Nginx installs, it creates a user called, this name looks quite funny, but this is the name of the user, www-data. And for every user, there's a group, that has the same name. And you can use this command to list all the users in the Linux system. So if I just run, I'm just gonna hide this one. So the user information is stored in slash etc folder and in this file called passwd. If I just run this, and you can see the list of all the users in the system. So can you say this is the root user? And if I scroll down, I'll see myself here. This is my user here. And one thing to note is, so this is my username. Sorry, not this one. This is my username. This X here means I have a password that has been created, when I created the user. And you can see here slash home slash Chris Ubuntu. So that's where my user files are. And you can see here slash bin slash bash means I have a terminal that is assigned to me. If you look here, um, just one, yeah, I'm just gonna find it. So this is the one that was created by Nginx, this one. So the username is www-data, and you can see here it says no login. So that means this user doesn't have any login set up for it. So they can't really log in. If you look at the root user, you would always recognize the root user as 00. So the first zero is the user ID, then the second zero is the group ID. So this user ID and group ID 00 is reserved for the root user. And you can see the root user has a bash terminal. So just to reiterate, these are all the users in my system at the moment. So any user that you see that has user ID under 1000 is not a human user. So you can see my user here. User ID is above 1000. So that means it's likely a human, user. So it's always good to note this. So you can see the other user, the system D. There are all these other users here that have been created as part of the Linux file system. But the ones to call out are the root user. You must know about this user. Then you must know that they are human users, the ones with group ID and user ID above 1000. Um, so I'll just carry on. So if use this command to show all the users, then this command is a command that you should know about. Is for finding information within an output. So for example, if I run this full command as it is, so what I'm actually doing is I'm cutting all the user information, and instead of having all these, results, I'm using grep to just find any results with this um, information. So if I run this command now, you will see that it just brings me only this result. So I don't have to, look through all these, results here. I just get exactly what I need. So, so this user was created by Nginx. You can see it's under 1000, so it's not a human user. And you can see it doesn't have any login. It's just a, an application user. And is there any questions so far? Ah, yeah, let me know if there's no questions. So, Okay, it looks like some people have dropped off but um okay, so I'll carry on. Okay, that's good. Um yeah, so then these are file like um so we've talked about ownership and permissions and um remember if you see why I've written here, so if let me go back to the terminal. So this file is owned by root, right? But other users have access to read the file. So if I so you can see I'm able to get back the website, right? So let me try and modify the permissions of this file. So let's say I use 700. So this 700, these two zeros will clear the these two read permissions. So if I just apply it, oh, so you see, it wasn't permitted. So I need to assume root permissions to be able to modify it. Okay, I'll just enter the password. Okay, so if I check, yeah, so you can see only the root user has access to this file now, nobody else. So if I just restart I'm just going to restart the Nginx application. So because I've made a change, so anytime you make a change to any configuration file, you need to restart the service so that those changes will be picked up. Let me just check to see. Okay, yeah, so there are two people here now. So I'll just carry on. So I'm just going to restart Nginx now. And before I restart it, let me check the status. Okay, so it's actively running. I'm just going to restart it. Okay, so that's good. I'll check the status now. They're still running. Let me check the website to see if I get anything back. Now, can you see what's happening? I modified the file permissions to only be readable by the root user, and I removed the read permissions for other users. So can you see what's happening? I'm getting a faultly forbidden. So this is because the Nginx user doesn't have any. See, if you check again, I'll show you. So can you see that it's only the root? So this file is owned by root, and only the root user has read, write, and execute access, right? But other users, cannot read or even write to the file. So this is what caused the problem, and why I'm getting this faultly forbidden, because the Nginx user doesn't have permissions to read the website file. So that's why I'm getting this faultly forbidden. So the only way to fix this is to restore read permissions to other users. Then they'll be able to read the file, and then you'll be able to see the website code. So if I just go back to, so let me make this instead of 700. Let me just say, I think it's 7. So 5. I think let's see what 755 will give. So yeah. So you can see. Oh, let me change it to 711. So I think one means read. Okay. So let me check again. Ah, no. So one means execute. So there are three numbers. One for execute, then execute and read is like I think four or five. And so let me go back to five. Let me check the permissions again. Okay, so at least other users have access to read now. So if I run the call command now, I get back, the website information because I've restored read permissions. And is there any question before I? Yeah, let me know if there are any questions. Otherwise, I'll just carry on. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. I've demonstrated, a situation where there's changes in permission, and then the users, fail to read the file. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. So I'll craft the assignment for this week. I'll try and incorporate these things in so you guys can have it all in one place. And so I think this is what I've just demonstrated. I've modified the permissions and it breaks the read permission, so the website is no longer available. Then this set of commands here is to clean up your file, your Linux system to remove Nginx. Okay, so that's done. So I'm going to go to the plan for today. Oh, so I'm just going to share my screen, sharing the whole screen, and then I'll share. Oh, I think I need to share on my screen. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, please. TBK, yes. No, so other users have read access, so you can read the file, but only the root user has write access. So if you want to modify or change something in the file, you need sudo permissions to do that. Um, is that clear? Oh, yeah, please let me know if that's clear. Um, okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, so let's talk about the plan for today. So we'll be moving into cloud today. So I think I've explained before, AWS is a cloud service provider. So basically, what it means is you don't have to build a data center yourself. You can AWS has already built that data center and everything you need. All you just need is to sign up to AWS, and then you create an account, and then you begin to create whatever you want, network, whatever, and then you will be able to use the data center AWS has created. And so we'll talk about some design principles. So I think there are five design principles as a cloud engineer that you need to know. The first one is security. So whatever you build, oh, come on. Sorry, just one moment. um, so whatever you build in the cloud has to be secure. That's number one. There's no point building something that is not secure. So your first priority as a cloud engineer is security. Then after security, the next priority is cost effectiveness. There is no point, building something that is very expensive if there's a cheaper option to build it. So design principle one, security. Design principle two, cost effectiveness. Design principle three, it should be as automated as possible. So there's something called event-driven architecture. So ideally, you want to build a system that can run by itself without people having to go there to, to run things themselves. So I think it's called event-driven architecture. So that's three. Then number four, whatever you build should be highly available. So in other words, um, you don't want a situation whereby you design something, they come and tell you, oh, this your system is not available today, it's failing. Ah, we tried it in the morning, it's not available. Ah, we tried it, it's slow. During the day, it's very slow. I'm sure you must have complained about this yourself. Like if you go to some of the Nigerian government website, the websites are so slow, or the website will be totally unreachable. So you want to build a system that is highly available. So number one, it has to be secure. Number two, it has to be cost effective. Number three, it has to be event driven if possible. And number four, it has to be highly available. And I think number five, it relates back to security. It has to be very resilient. So if somebody tries to take it down, it should be strong enough to resist attacks. So those are like the five design principles. And I think in AWS they call it well architected framework. So which means the system is well, architected. So for the purpose of this training, you need to know some core AWS services. So the first one is IAM. So people call it IAM. So this one you need to know. This one is very key. Then you have the other ones: S3, Lambda, API Gateway, VPC, EC2, Security Group, Load Balancer, Route 53, and CDN. So I think if you know these, you are pretty much ready to begin. Yeah, so shall we shall we call it here? So let's have the interactive session, and then I'll quickly show us, what this is on the AWS console. So I'll try and get console access, to only the students that I've seen who have participated all the way from day one. And so once I'll make the access, available, as I see fit to students who have been doing the assignment and who actually want to, to learn. Yeah, so let me create the meeting, and then we'll move over. I'm just waiting for the Google Meet to be created. So I'm just creating the meeting now. Just 1 minute. The meeting is creating now. Okay, so that's the link. We can drop off this call and join over there. All right, so let's join over there. I'll end this one now.